The Galactic Supreme Council floated in silence near a dying star. The star was old. Its light was weak, its surface cracked and burned as it slowly collapsed into itself. The council station was massive, larger than most cities. Ancient metal plates covered its surface, carved with symbols of wars long forgotten. For thousands of years, this place had decided the fate of the galaxy. Inside the main chamber, hundreds of alien leaders were gathered. There were rulers of vast war empires, their bodies covered in armor grown from living metal. There were hive minds, speaking as one voice through many forms. There were ancient machine rulers, cold and silent, older than many stars. These beings had crushed civilizations. They had erased species. They believed nothing could surprise them anymore. The chamber lights dimmed. A single hologram appeared at the center of the room. One word burned in bright symbols. H. Tarmans. For a moment, there was silence. Then the chamber filled with laughter. Low, sharp sounds echoed from warlords. Buzzing clicks came from hive rulers. Even some machine minds released mocking data tones. Humans, the weakest topic the council had discussed in centuries. One alien leader leaned forward, his many eyes glowing with amusement. Humans are divided, he said. They fight each other more than any enemy. Another added calmly, they are emotional, loud, unstable. A third spoke with clear boredom. Their ships are weak. Their weapons are outdated. They barely control their own planet. Images flashed across the hologram. Human cities divided by borders. Human wars fought among themselves. Old human ships retreating from minor battles. The council watched with open mockery. One powerful alien commander stood, towering above the others. His voice carried authority earned through countless victories. If humans were strong, he said, they would not hide on one small planet at the edge of known space. Laughter returned, louder than before. The council agreed. Humans were labeled as not worth concern. The hologram began to fade. Then a quiet signal interrupted the chamber. A junior officer stepped forward. He was young by galactic standards, his voice careful, almost unsure. There is a report, he said. The laughter slowly faded. Human borders are expanding, the officer continued. Not fast, but steadily. Several leaders waved it off. Expansion means nothing, one said. Even weak species expand. The officer swallowed and continued. Human ship designs are changing faster than expected, he said. Each encounter shows different structures, different systems. A few leaders exchanged looks, but no one spoke. The officer activated another projection. Simulated battle footage appeared. Human ships were retreating, but not in panic. They pulled back in perfect order. They sacrificed smaller vessels to save larger ones. They abandoned territory calmly. One commander frowned. They are losing, he said. Yes, the officer replied carefully, but they lose slowly. They lose on purpose. The room grew quieter. In several simulations, the officer continued, humans retreat even when victory is possible. They give up space without protest. A hive ruler spoke, confused. Why would any species accept loss so easily? No one answered. Then a machine ruler processed the data. Conclusion, it said coldly. Human behavior is inefficient, fear-based. The tension broke. The council laughed again. They are afraid, a warlord said. They know they cannot win, another added. They retreat because they are weak, a third concluded. The junior officer stepped back, his warning ignored. The council returned to confidence. A final decision was made. Guess to end. Human space will be tested. Not a full war, not an extermination. Just a test. A warning message was prepared, short, direct, and cold. It declared that human expansion would no longer be tolerated. It demanded retreat. It carried the authority of the Galactic Supreme Council. The message was sent across the stars, straight to Earth. The council waited. They expected panic, angry replies, threats, begging, desperate negotiations. Minutes passed, then hours. Sensors detected no fleet movement, no weapon activation, no emotional broadcast. Human cities continued their routines. Trade routes stayed open. Communications remained quiet. One commander frowned. Perhaps they are preparing to surrender, he said. Another laughed. Or they are arguing among themselves, as always. The junior officer checked incoming data again. There is no response, he said softly. The chamber slowly grew still, not fearful, just uneasy. A machine ruler processed the silence. Unusual, it stated. The dying star outside the station pulsed once, casting red light across the chamber. The Galactic Supreme Council waited longer. Earth remained silent. No reply, no protest, no surrender, nothing. The galaxy believed humans were weak. None of them realized the silence was not fear, it was restraint. The silence from Earth did not end. Hours passed, then days. Across the galaxy, alien listening stations watched human space closely. They expected signs of fear, emergency signals, sudden fleet movement, loud political speeches. They detected none. Human worlds continued their normal cycles. Cities stayed lit. Trade ships followed their usual routes. Civilian traffic moved without panic. To the Galactic Supreme Council, this behavior made no sense. Inside the council chamber, unease slowly replaced confidence. One alien commander studied the data streams. His voice was sharp with irritation. They should be reacting by now, he said. Any weak species would. Another replied, perhaps they are too divided to answer. A hive ruler clicked thoughtfully, or they are arguing over surrender terms. The council accepted these explanations easily. It was comforting to believe them. To push the humans further, a small decision was made. A limited strike, not against Earth itself, not against a major world, just a test. A minor human outpost at the edge of their territory was chosen. It was lightly defended, poorly armed, easy to destroy. An alien task force jumped into the system without warning. The outpost detected them. Human sensors saw the ships arrive. They tracked every movement. They calculated every weapon range. But they did not call for help. No distress signal was sent. No fleet was summoned. The alien ships opened fire. The outpost defenses activated briefly, just enough to delay the attack. Then, without drama, the station overloaded its own core. The outpost vanished in a quiet explosion. No screams, no last messages, no emotional broadcast. The alien commander leading the strike felt satisfied. See, he said, they are afraid to fight. The task force withdrew. Back at the council, the destruction was reported. Many leaders were pleased. This confirms it, one said. Humans retreat rather than resist. But the junior officer, the same one who had spoken before, felt something was wrong. He reviewed the sensor data from the destroyed outpost. The explosion had been clean, controlled, perfectly timed. The outpost had destroyed itself before the aliens could study it. Why erase their own technology? The officer wondered quietly. No one listened. Instead, the council approved more tests. Alien patrols entered human border systems. Trade routes were inspected aggressively. Human convoys were stopped and scanned. The humans did not resist. They complied. They answered questions politely. They allowed inspections. To the galaxy, it looked like submission. But something strange kept appearing in the data. Human ships always knew where alien fleets would be. They avoided contact before it happened. They never stumbled into ambushes. They moved as if they had already seen the future. One alien captain voiced concern. They behave like prey that already knows the hunter's path. Another laughed. Prey does not plan, it panics. Still, the pattern continued. More human outposts were abandoned. More territory was given up. Yet human core worlds remained untouched and strangely quiet. The Galactic Supreme Council began to argue. Some believed humans were collapsing. Others believed they were hiding something. To settle the debate, the council approved a deeper probe. A reconnaissance fleet was sent into a heavily populated human system. This time, they expected resistance. The fleet arrived. Human ships were present. They did not attack. They did not flee. They simply moved aside. The alien fleet advanced. Then their sensors lit up with warnings. Navigation systems glitched. Weapon targeting lagged. Communication signals echoed back with delay. Interference? The commander asked. No, replied a machine unit. The signals are being reflected. The aliens realized too late that human ships had repositioned them into a sensor shadow, an area where normal physics bent slightly due to gravity and radiation. The human ships vanished. Not by jumping away, they simply stopped being visible. The alien fleet panicked. Weapons fired blindly. Orders overlapped. Formations broke. Then, just as suddenly, the systems returned to normal. The humans were gone. No shots had hit them. No damage was done. But the message was clear: they could have attacked. They chose not to. Back at the council, the mood changed. No one laughed now. A warlord spoke slowly. "Why show us this and not strike?" The hive ruler answered, uncertain. "Perhaps they want us to underestimate them." A machine ruler processed new data. "Human behavior suggests preparation, not fear." The junior officer finally spoke again. "Humans are not responding emotionally," he said. "They are responding strategically." Silence filled the chamber. Outside, the dying star flickered again. The council realized something unsettling. Humans were not reacting to events. They were controlling the pace. They decided to escalate one final time. A larger fleet would move closer to Earth itself. If humans were weak, they would break. If they were hiding something, the galaxy would soon see it. Far away on Earth, human commanders watched the alien movements calmly. They said nothing. They transmitted nothing. They only adjusted their plans. Because the moment the galaxy crossed one more line, the test would end, and the lesson would begin. The alien fleet moved toward Earth. It was not a full invasion. It was not meant to be. The Galactic Supreme Council called it a demonstration of authority. Dozens of massive warships entered human space. Their hulls were covered in heavy armor, their weapons visible and active. They advanced slowly, openly, without fear. The galaxy watched. This time, they expected a reaction. Earth remained silent. No angry broadcasts, no fleet launch, no threats. Alien commanders laughed again, but the laughter was thin now. "Even now they hide," one commander said. But his sensors told a different story. Human ships were moving, not rushing, not forming large fleets. They moved in small groups, quietly, separately. They avoided direct paths. They used empty space. They stayed just outside sensor range. The alien fleet continued forward. Then, without warning, a single human ship appeared. It emerged between two alien cruisers. No weapons powered, no shields raised, no escorts, just one ship. The alien fleet locked weapons instantly. "Target acquired," a commander announced. But the human ship did not react. It did not flee. It did not attack. It simply drifted. "This is it," one alien officer said. "Their surrender ship." The commander prepared a message demanding unconditional submission. Before he could send it, the human ship transmitted data. Not a plea, not a warning. Data. Alien consoles flooded with information. Fleet formations, weapon charge cycles, engine weaknesses, shield gaps. The alien officers froze. "This is internal data," one shouted. "They shouldn't have this." The human ship did not stop transmitting. Then something impossible happened. One alien cruiser suddenly lost power. No explosion, no impact. It simply went dark. A second ship lost navigation control, drifting off course. A third reported its weapons locked in safety mode. The alien fleet panicked. "Fire," the commander ordered. Weapons discharged. The human ship moved. Not fast, not dramatic. It slid sideways just enough to avoid every shot. Then it jumped away. Gone. Silence followed. The alien fleet remained intact, but damaged in ways no weapon had caused. Back at the Galactic Supreme Council, alarms rang. Reports flooded in. Systems failure. Command confusion. No visible attack. A machine ruler processed the data. "Conclusion," it said. "Human electronic warfare exceeds projections." A warlord slammed his claw against the floor. "They attacked us without firing." Another responded slowly. "No, they showed us they could." The junior officer stood silently, watching the replay. "The human ship could have destroyed us," he said. "It chose not to." The council reviewed old records. Ancient conflicts, lost civilizations. A pattern emerged. Every species that had survived long wars shared one trait: patience. The galaxy had mistaken silence for fear. But humans were not afraid. They were disciplined. The alien fleet near Earth regrouped. Commanders argued. Some demanded immediate retreat. Others demanded total attack. The council chose escalation. A strike group was ordered to seize a human military station near Earth's orbit. The station was heavily guarded, or so alien intelligence believed. The alien ships jumped in. They found the station. It was active, lights on, communications live, but the defenses were minimal. The alien commander smiled. "Another retreat," he said. The attack began. Weapons struck the station. The station held, longer than expected. Human defense fire was weak but accurate. Alien fighters were disabled, not destroyed. Then the station broadcast a message. It was short, calm. "This station is being evacuated." The alien commander laughed. Then the station exploded. Not outward, inward. It collapsed into itself, pulling nearby ships with it in a controlled gravity surge. 2 alien vessels were crushed. The rest escaped in panic. Back at the council, fear finally surfaced. "These are not desperate acts," a hive ruler said. "These are controlled losses." A machine ruler added, "Humans are trading space for time." The junior officer spoke again. "They are studying us," he said. "Every retreat gives them more data." The council fell silent. For the first time, a question was asked seriously. What if humans are not weak? What if they are waiting? Far from the council, deep within human space, fleets moved in silence. Hidden docks opened. Old ships were upgraded. New designs were deployed. Human commanders did not celebrate. They did not rush. They watched, because they knew something the galaxy did not. The first human response was never meant to win. It was meant to warn, and the galaxy had ignored it. The next response would not be so gentle. The Galactic Supreme Council no longer laughed. The chamber was quiet now, filled only with the low hum of ancient machines and distant star radiation. The dying star outside flickered again, its weak light casting long shadows across the chamber. The galaxy had expected fear from humans. Instead, it had found something worse. Control. Council analysts gathered old data from forgotten archives. Records that had not been opened for centuries. Records from the edges of known space. A machine ruler spoke first. "Humanity originates from a Class 3 death world," it stated. Some leaders shifted uncomfortably. The machine continued. "Extreme gravity, violent weather, constant natural disasters, predatory life forms." A warlord frowned. "Many species come from harsh worlds." "Yes," replied the machine ruler. "But humans did not escape their world. They mastered it." Images appeared on the hologram. Storms tearing cities apart. Earthquakes destroying entire regions. Wars fought with limited resources. "Humans evolved under continuous pressure," the machine said. "They learned patience before power." A hive ruler spoke slowly. "Then why do they retreat?" The machine ruler answered, "Because humans separate survival from victory." The council reviewed human history. Humans lost wars. Humans lost cities. Humans lost millions of lives, but they always adapted. They did not fight to appear strong. They fought to last longer than their enemy. A new file opened. Human strategy Duzastrine, partial translation. The chamber grew silent as the words appeared. "Do not strike first when survival is uncertain. Do not fight fair when losing teaches more. Do not reveal full strength until the enemy believes you have none." The council felt a chill. A warlord slammed his fist against the floor. "This is deception." The junior officer replied quietly, "No, this is restraint." Another file opened. Simulated wars between humans and ancient empires. In every case, the same pattern appeared. Humans retreated. Humans sacrificed ground. Humans allowed themselves to be underestimated. Then, when the enemy overextended, human victories were absolute. Entire fleets vanished. Command structures collapsed. Empires fell within days. The hive ruler's voice trembled. "Why did we never see this?" The machine ruler answered coldly, "Because survivors do not leave warnings." The council realized a terrible truth. Human silence was not weakness, it was discipline. At the edge of human space, alien fleets grew uneasy. Commanders noticed something new. Human ships were no longer avoiding contact. They were watching, always at perfect distance, always positioned near vital routes, always just visible enough to be seen. Alien probes sent toward Earth vanished. Human probes were never detected, yet always returned. One alien captain whispered, "They see us before we see them." Back at the council, panic spread. Some demanded peace. Some demanded immediate destruction of Earth. Some froze in silence. A machine ruler issued a final assessment. Human behavior indicates transition from observation phase to response phase. The room went still. "What does that mean?" a leader asked. "It means," the machine replied, "the test period is ending." Far away, on Earth, human leaders met in quiet rooms. No shouting, no fear, only calm voices and clear plans. Maps displayed alien fleet positions. Supply lines were marked, command ships highlighted. Human officers spoke in simple terms. They think we are weak, one said. Good, another replied. They believe we are reacting, a third added. We are not, said the commander. We are deciding. Human fleets began to move, not toward alien territory, toward control points, choke systems, communication hubs, fuel corridors. The galaxy did not notice at first. Then the first alien supply fleet failed to arrive, then another. Then communication delays spread. Alien commanders blamed errors until a human transmission appeared. It was not sent to the council. It was broadcast to every fleet. Simple, clear. Your supply lines are exposed. Your command structure is visible. Withdraw now. The message ended. No threat, no demand, just information. The Galactic Supreme Council listened in horror. They are giving us a choice, the junior officer said. A warlord shouted, We will not be warned by prey. The council ignored the message. The humans did not repeat it. Instead, the galaxy felt the change. Alien fleets began to slow. Fuel reserves dropped. Orders arrived late. No battles occurred. Yet the war was already turning. The council realized too late. Humans did not fight wars loudly. They dismantled them quietly. The silence that once mocked humanity now suffocated the galaxy. And this time, humans were no longer holding back. The galaxy did not notice the war had already begun. There were no massive explosions at first. No grand speeches. No dramatic charges. Instead, systems went quiet. An alien supply fleet failed to arrive at its destination. Commanders assumed a navigation error. Another fleet vanished a day later. Then another. Fuel depots stopped responding. Communication relays sent delayed messages. Orders arrived hours too late. Confusion spread across alien fleets. Inside one massive warship, an alien commander stared at his console. This makes no sense, he said. Our routes are secure. A machine unit processed the data. They were secure, it replied. They are no longer. Human fleets had moved. Not in massive formations. Not in obvious ways. They appeared near key systems places no one thought important. Fuel corridors, jump gates, data hubs. Human ships did not attack planets. They attacked structure. A human task group appeared near a major alien fuel station. No warning was sent. No threat was spoken. They disabled the station's control systems. The station remained intact, but useless. Another human fleet appeared near a communication hub. They did not destroy it. They rerouted it. Alien messages traveled in circles. Commands echoed back to their senders. Fleet coordination collapsed. Alien commanders shouted at each other. This is sabotage. No, it is war. Where are they attacking from? They could not find the answer. Human ships were always where aliens did not expect them. When alien fleets tried to regroup, they found their paths blocked. When they tried to retreat, jump points failed. For the first time in centuries, the galaxy felt trapped. Back at the Galactic Supreme Council, panic replaced pride. They're not fighting us, one later said. They are dismantling us. A warlord slammed his weapon against the floor. Then strike Earth now. End this. The council agreed. A full invasion fleet was ordered toward Earth. Hundreds of warships moved together. They would end the problem directly. The fleet entered human core space. This time, Earth responded. Human fleets emerged. Not from one direction. From everywhere. From behind moons. From asteroid fields. From deep shadowed space. They were not larger than alien ships. They were not more powerful. But they were perfectly positioned. Human commanders spoke calmly. Target command ships first. Disable engines. Do not pursue fleeing vessels. The battle began. Human weapons fired. Clean. Precise. Alien command ships lost power within seconds. Without command, fleets broke formation. Alien weapons fired wildly. Human ships moved just enough to avoid damage. They did not rush. They did not chase. They waited for mistakes. Every alien mistake was punished. One alien cruiser attempted to ram a human ship. The human ship shifted course slightly. The cruiser missed and collided with its own ally. Another alien ship overloaded its weapons trying to break human shields. The shields held. The weapon exploded. The battle was quiet. No rage. No celebration. Just efficiency. Within minutes, the invasion fleet was broken. Some ships retreated. Some drifted powerless. Some surrendered. Human ships did not chase them. They stopped. The message was clear. Earth had fought back, and it had been effortless. Across the galaxy, the news spread fast. Human fleets had defeated a full invasion force, with minimal losses, without total destruction. The Galactic Supreme Council met again. No one laughed. No one argued. They watched battle recordings in silence. A machine ruler spoke. Human combat behavior indicates absolute control. A hive ruler whispered, "They could have destroyed us." "Yes," the machine replied. "They chose not to." A final human transmission arrived. It was broadcast openly. "Not threatening, not angry. You entered our space," the message said. "We warned you. We have demonstrated capability. This conflict can end now." The council felt something unfamiliar. Relief, fear, respect. A warlord asked quietly, "Why spare us?" The junior officer answered, "Because humans do not fight for revenge," he said. "They fight to end wars." Far from the council, Earth remained calm. Cities stayed lit. People lived their lives. No victory celebrations filled the streets. Human leaders watched the stars quietly. They knew this was not the end. It was the understanding. The galaxy had learned something important. Humans were not weak. They were patient. They did not need to conquer the galaxy. They only needed to prove one thing. Never mistake silence for weakness. Because the moment Earth fought back, everything changed. The war ended without a victory parade. No capital worlds burned. No species was erased. Yet the galaxy was changed forever. The Galactic Supreme Council gathered one final time. The chamber felt smaller now. The ancient walls that once displayed triumph now reflected caution. The dying star outside still burned, but no one admired it anymore. They had seen something worse than destruction. They had seen control. Representatives from shattered fleets appeared as holograms. Some spoke with anger, others with fear. Many said nothing at all. A warlord broke the silence. "We underestimated them," he said. "We believed power was noise." A hive ruler replied slowly, "Humans prove power is restraint." A machine ruler displayed the final analysis. Human forces withdrew immediately after disabling invasion capability. No pursuit, no expansion, no retaliation strikes. The data paused. Conclusion: humanity does not seek conquest. The council processed this. They had feared humans would replace them. That fear faded. What replaced it was deeper: respect. Across the galaxy, alien fleets retreated from human borders. Patrols were recalled. Trade restrictions were lifted without announcement. No one wanted to test Earth again. On dozens of alien worlds, commanders quietly updated military doctrine. New rules were written. Avoid prolonged pressure. Never corner humans. Silence is not surrender. The phrase spread through fleets and academies. If humans are quiet, be careful. On Earth, life continued. Human cities did not celebrate. There were no broadcasts of victory. No leaders stood on balconies. The population knew something had happened, but not everything. That was intentional. Human leaders met in quiet rooms, reviewing reports. Losses were minimal. Objectives achieved. No need for further action. One commander spoke softly. "They learned." Another replied, "That was the goal." Human fleets returned to hidden docks. Systems powered down. Ships vanished back into shadows where they belonged. Earth did not expand. It did not threaten. It simply remained. Weeks later, a message arrived at Earth. Not a demand, not an order, a request. The Galactic Supreme Council formally recognized humanity as a sovereign equal. No conditions, no hidden clauses. The message ended with a single line: "We acknowledge our error." Human leaders read it in silence. They sent a reply. Short, simple, accepted. Nothing more. No warning, no pride. The galaxy listened closely. From that day on, humans were spoken of differently. Not as weak, not as dangerous, but as measured. In alien academies, instructors taught the human example. They lost battles on purpose. They retreated to learn. They waited until victory was certain. Young alien officers asked the same question again and again: why didn't they destroy us? The answer was always the same: because destruction was unnecessary. Years passed, the galaxy stabilized, old empires recovered, trade resumed, wars were fewer, and always, in the background, one truth remained. Humans watched, not aggressively, not openly, but always. An ancient alien elder, older than most stars, recorded a final message for future generations. We believed strength was shown through domination, the elder said. Humans showed us strength is shown through choice. The record was sealed, far beyond the core worlds. At the edge of known space, a young alien officer studied star maps. He noticed something strange. Human space remained unchanged. No expansion, no fortresses, just quiet systems. He asked his superior, "Why don't humans take more?" The superior answered without looking up, "Because they already have what they need." The officer hesitated. "And what is that?" The answer came slowly, "The ability to end any war, and the wisdom not to start one." The galaxy would never forget that lesson. They had laughed once. They would never laugh again, because they learned the truth too late. Humans were never weak, they were patient. And the moment Earth fought back, everything changed.